Hello, today's video in my series I'm going to show you how to remove the lower windshield trim and the trim around the windshield. And I'm taking this off, still getting the vehicle ready to get painted. And what you're going to need, I picked up this windshield door trim tool set from Harbor Freight. I don't need the rest of the stuff in here, but I do need this tool. This is what you're going to use to pop the clips loose around the windshield. Now, one word of caution: you can bust your windshield if you're not careful. So, you're going to have to take your time and make sure you've got the tool in where it needs to be and you're not twisting the tool while you're working. So let's get started. Okay, as you can see, I've got the driver's side lower trim piece and pillar piece off, and I did this to show you first the little clips that engage the trim and hold the trim on. Now what you want to do is you want to get your tool in under the clip and slightly pry back. You can do it on either side, and that will disengage the clip. Now you may have to take the trim and hold the trim towards the pillar while you disengage the clip. Sometimes the trim moves over with the clip. Now the clip engages this edge here. Oh, it runs all the way down the trim. That's what the clip catches on and holds. Also, I'm going to show you where the lower trim pieces connect to the body. There's two separate retainers, and it also, a piece fits up in the bottom of your trim, your side windshield trim. Now I got some bad news for you. To remove your lower trim, you're going to essentially break it. So you might as well go ahead and order two new pieces. It's going to break because of its age, and it's going to be brittle. And there's not really anything you can do about it. So these are where the clips are. And also across, the top of the car, you're going to have to do some stretching, but it's the same thing all the way around. So let's go to the passenger side and pop the clips loose and get the trim off. Alright, I've got my lower piece. I've already popped it loose and I broke it. Over here on the very end, you can see it's broken off. You just have to be careful when you do that. It comes off, and you've got you can see a tab here, and there was one right here. Of course, it's gone. This is the original part that came on the car. I mean, you see it's brittle. It's pretty much, useless. These are cheap to replace. I mean, if you get a new one, probably $20 for both sides. Now we're going to do the side trim. You're going to take your tool. If you look at the tool, it's rather thin. I think the thinner the better. There's not much room in between the trim and the windshield to reach under to get to the clip. This is relatively cheap. Now I've seen these tools upwards of $20. I didn't want to spend $20 on a trim tool. So what you're going to do, get your fingers just up under the trim, kind of fold it back a little bit, not too much or you'll bend it. Get your tool in, get it up under the clip. Pry a little bit and you see the trim moving. That's the clip. So hold your trim in, pry the clip, and it comes loose. Move up and do the next one, same thing, trim moves, pull the trim against the pillar, the clip, Now if you turn this and you're not very successful, try to make sure you're not actually hitting the trim instead of the clip. Next one, and the last one. And you should have some butyl at the top, probably from the windshield or some kind of adhesive. Just twist or shake it and pull it down, and the trim comes out. So that is how you remove the trim from the sides and the top of the windshield and the bottom of the windshield on that 87 and 93 Mustang. If you have any questions, comments, or need some pictures, please feel free to post. Check out my other videos where I've disassembled other parts of my 88 Mustang. And I appreciate you watching.